So today, we're playing the Ranger, and we've got an awesome build lined up. We're dual wielding Holy Spears with an Impracticaly Large Greatsword for some big damage. But on top of that, we're using a Cheese Goobert to stack our max life, while our spears give us invulnerability, making a Ranger pretty darn tanky. But hey, check it out and let me know what you think of it. Okie dokie, so today we're going to be jumping into some ranked games and seeing who we're going to get today. So it looks like we're playing the Ranger. We do start with a spear. Since we're not back on the beta, we can not craft up a poison spear, but we could craft up a holy spear today. But hey, a pair of gloves on sale, I do want to grab for sure. Big old banana, and I do want to grab this little bit of a shark bow too. I'm going to take this Starve Courage out because I'm going to be super greedy. I'm going to take a piggy bank. I will roll once. And yeah, I'll be reserving this ladder bag, and we might as well take this unidentified amulet too. Well, let's keep moving for now. We should have a good bit of DPS with a spear and a little short bow. So all in all, it shouldn't be too bad. However, our opponent does have tons of healing, especially with the health bot, so we could be in a little bit of trouble here, especially they're inflicting some blind as well. And unfortunately, yeah. Just pausing the video here very quickly, just to ask you to subscribe. It really helps me out. Thanks. Now let's get back to the video. They just had a little bit too much healing for us. So we're going to grab our leather bag, and we're going to grab you too, which is Amulet Feasting. Which is pretty darn smashing. Which, hey, I'm going to reserve this garlic, but I am going to move on with this sort of situation. I want to get that garlic because with the Amulet Feasting, it does trigger food a lot faster. However, we'll see if we can deal with this Reaper. Now, they do have a Toad, which is not going to be providing too much, except stacking up their luck and their accuracy, but smashing. Not too bad overall. Now, despite this, we could actually go double spear here. Let's grab double spear. Let's grab the garlic too, and I do want to grab ourselves a lucky clover. Now I'm going to be super greedy still. I'm going to keep our piggy bank in as well. So I will be reserving this one, and I might actually want to set a blueberries, but yeah, let's keep moving. So double spear means a lot of damage for us. So overall, it should be pretty fantastic. However, we are going to begin a spike shield, another spike shield user. Can we actually outsurvive them? They do have Torch, they do have that health bot, which is going to be a lot of healing. So unfortunately, yeah, it's not looking too great. Now we do have a choice to make, and since we have Amulet Feasting, that's a Smelly wall, which I'm going to have to grab. We're going to grab you, we're going to grab you too. Let's grab our blueberries, hoping to get a garlic. We've got a big old banana, which is a little less than ideal, but it is what it is. But hey, I'm going to move on straight away. So at least with our garlic, we should be able to get a bit of block. It triggers faster with Amulet Feasting as well, so it shouldn't be too bad overall. Now we probably want to grab a bunch of stones too, that way we can actually get some strong stones and potions. Potentially inflict a lot of poison once we stack up a lot of block. However, it's really not looking great once again. Our opponent did have a lot of lifesteal with all those weapons. However, I was going to say, maybe we could bring it back, but definitely not. We're going to take you. We're going to take a set of blueberries, which does give us a garlic. It does give us a cheese. I do want to grab it. But unfortunately, I'm going to have to sell the gloves to roll. Looking for a bit of storage. Although that's another freaking garlic. So right now, I'm actually going to sell our stone to grab this fanny pack, because I do want to add in our cheese. And I do want to add in another garlic too. And I do want to keep at least one piggy bank in for now as well. That's another freaking garlic, which we're going to reserve, but yeah, we're going to move on once again. Actually, before we do make a bit of a mistake, we do want to place it in over this side so we can actually have our blueberries triggering, or our smelly wall triggering on both our garlics. So we'll see. We should be able to get a ton of block with double garlics. We should be able to stack up a little bit of max life, keeping us pretty darn healthy. We're also getting some random buffs. However, that's a hammer dagger type build with double daggers, but yeah, the block is coming in right now and smashing overall. And that's a freaking pumpkin. It is a food item, but I'm not going to be taking it. I'm going to take the garlic. It does give us another cheese on sale, which is absurd not to take. I do want to grab you, and I do want to roll again, and I definitely need some storage. So I'm going to have to sell one piggy bank at least. Now, I do want to spend time crafting up a lucky pig too. So unfortunately, I will be moving on once again. I didn't add in our cheese till we craft up our lucky pig for now. But it'll have to be this way for now. Now again, we're going to begin another spike shield, which is pretty darn rough for us. But again, we should have lots of block, a good bit of max life stacking, and overall should be pretty darn smashing. However, opponent will have a lot of scaling damage with that Burning Torch. They have got quite a few buffs actually. But again, we've got a lot of max life, we've got some block, so it shouldn't be too bad overall. Awesome. Now we got our lucky pig. We got a stone skin potion on sale. We got ourselves a stone. That is a hunger blade if we wanted to. It's also an unstable recombobulator, which I'm going to grab. I'm going to roll for now. And we could go for Cheese Goobert here. Or even a Blood Goobert. But I definitely want to grab another short bow too. So we could make a huge mistake here and sell our stone skin potion with our stone with our unstable recombobulator to grab Goobert and a stamina sack and craft up a Cheese Goobert. Which I really want to do. So yeah. Call me crazy, this is free money though. That's the problem that I'm kind of facing. But let's take the Goobert at least. We'll reserve the stamina sack and be back in a second while I sort our inventory out. Once again. So for now, this is going to be our setup. As we craft up our Cheese Gooberts, we're going to have our Amber Feasting this position. And yeah, we're going to move on. So we should be able to get a ton of block. We should be able to get some healing now with our Gooberts. And we should be able to stack up our max life as well. So we're being super defensive. Our opponent is also going to be scaling up damage pretty fast though with a Magic Torch and double weapons. But can we survive? We're just about to break through their armor, which is not too bad. Now if we did have some spare slots, we could have actually cracked open their armor a lot faster. But I much prefer keeping it this way so we can scale up our max life, our block, and our tiny bit of healing with our Goobert. So far, definitely not looking too bad. And we do get our subclass. Now the thing is, we do have a Goobert, we do have Cheese Goobert of all things. Which makes me want to go big bowl of treats, especially with that Smelly wall. That's exactly what I'm going to take. And I do want to go for a bunch of squirrel archers. So we're going to grab our stamina sack. We're going to grab a short bow. I'm going to leave the rat for now. As we roll. Now the thing is, I do want a mana orb. Because I do kind of want to craft up a Holy Spirit too. So I will be moving on with this for now. I did reserve our potion belt as well. Because I do want more storage. But this should be pretty darn smashing. We should be able to trigger our big bowl of treats on our garlics and make them trigger faster and faster, give us a ton of block, being a super fast trigger for our Cheese Gooberts, almost faster than our weapons. So we should actually be able to stack up a crazy amount of buffs, a crazy amount of max life, and just, yeah, have not too much of a problem. Now our opponent is going to be removing a lot of our buffs, but this is looking pretty darn smashing overall and amazing. Not too bad. Now we do want to grab our potion belts. We could also grab a pineapple to scale up some spikes too. Would add more DPS to us, but for now, let's just take our mana orb as we roll. Now that's another freaking garlic. It's also a hedgehog too. I think right now I'm going to let the unstable recombobulate itself. We could hold on to it though, but for now I'm going to roll. I'm going to sell that stone to grab ourselves a protective little purse too, but let's go to move on. Now the thing is, our mana orb is going to be in a less than ideal position, but yeah. We don't exactly need that in. We could also add in our Starve Courage. That would have been smart too, but to be honest, with our banana in our big bowl of treats, we should have no problem with our stamina overall. So we should be able to turbo stock a lot of buffs. We're actually getting a lot of empower, which does increase our weapon damage, which is pretty darn smashing. Yeah, for sure. We stacked up a crazy amount of max life already. And it's looking pretty neck and neck though. But smashing overall. But hey, we got ourselves potion belts, not too bad. And a lump goal. Now here's the thing. What should we actually go for here? There are honestly not really great options. We could just take heavy drinking and look for some potions. Not exactly the most ideal situation to be in right now. Acorn Ace, we could try to craft up a crit with staff. Might not be too bad. It also reduces the stamina, so maybe we could potentially add in another weapon. I think we're going to take Acorn Ace. Now, Prismatic Orb on sale for 7. I'll be taking for now. Another freaking potion belts. I'm going to leave for now because we have so much storage. And we definitely want the Acorn Collar. We definitely want that Squirrel. To the point where we're going to sell you. And craft up that Squirrel Archer. But hey, we might have a bit of a problem with our stamina as we craft up that Squirrel Archer. For sure. But once we have the Squirrel Archer in, we should be in a pretty darn fantastic and awesome spot by removing a lot of buffs from our opponents. We're also dealing some damage too. However, our opponent does have a lot of scaling damage with that Magic Torch Anvil tip set up. And they're going to have a lot of lifesteal. But hey, can we bring it back? Smashing. We actually managed to bring it back. We stacked up a hell of a lot of max life overall. And not too bad. So we've got our Squirrel Archer. We do want to grab a crit chance. We do want to grab this protected little purse. We do want to roll. Another unstable recombobulator. Well, we're going to be taking it as we roll for now. That is a freaking set of blueberries on sale. Do we take it or do we roll? Because I do want to find some King's Crowns. I'm going to roll. That's another freaking squirrel, which I do want to grab too. Now maybe we could unstable recombobulate this prismatic orb, because we don't really have too much of a crazy use for it right now, to be quite honest. So yeah, I will be moving on. I will be offering up this unstable recombobulator with our prismatic orb. However, we are going to begin a crazy looking serpent staff builds. They're going to have tons and tons of healing, which is going to be quite scary, but can we bring it back? It's looking like we're starting to stabilize. We've stacked up an absurd amount of buffs. And actually, yeah, this is looking pretty darn smashing. Really, really, really fantastic so far. But hey, we actually got ourselves that King's Crown, that Glowing Crown, and a Vampiric Pot. And holy moly, that's an unstable recombobulator on sale again. So maybe we should have taken heavy drinking, since we got ourselves a Vampiric Potion. But hey, we do want to craft up a Holy Spirit. We do want to grab ourselves a freaking squirrel along with unstable recombobulator as we roll for now. And I do want to grab ourselves more storage. Now again, I'm going to keep rolling. I do want to grab this to potentially get ourselves a freaking Amethyst Steel. That would be amazing. Or another Amethyst Feasting would be crazy insane. But I would really, really like to craft up another Squirrel Archer. We might have to leave it for now. I do want to add this in too. But hey, we'll be adding in our Vampiric Potion for now. It does have a chance to crit with that Acorn color. And yeah, I'm going to hold on to our unstable recombobulator. But let's keep moving for now. So once we craft up a Holy Spirit, we should be in a fantastic spot. However, we are going to begin a Staff 1 Healing Cauldron. And they're going to trigger that Stone Golem, which is going to be a lot of block. Because they're going to have a lot of regen from those pots. But we'll see. They're dealing quite a bit of damage, but we're stacking up our max life. We're stacking up our buffs. So it shouldn't be too bad overall. Now it is looking quite close because they have tons of healing. They do have tons of block. But can we keep ahead? We actually have stacked up an absurd amount of max life. Now if we actually had some Thorn Blooms along with our Empower stacking, we could potentially have stacked up a crazy amounts more max life. But unfortunately, we just couldn't put enough damage into our opponents. They had way too much healing. But hey, we did get our Holy Spirit. We're going to take you. Amethyst of Darkness. Not too bad. Protective Purse. I do want to grab another Sharp Bow to craft up another Squirrel Archer, but I'm going to have to leave for now. I'm going to keep rolling. Unfortunately, we're getting really, really, really bad bags, which is protective little purses, which is not ideal. Now, we do also want to grab a card because that can be even more Empower stacking for us. But I do want to craft up the Squirrel Archer. And I will actually be adding in this Amethyst of Darkness over our Star of Courage. We do want to place this back in here for now so we actually do cleanse some debuffs. But yeah, I'm going to move on once again. So we should be able to shred some armor, we should be able to cleanse some debuffs, and it should be smashing overall. Now the stamina cost on our Holy Spirit is going to be quite low, so we can actually start to add in more weapons too. But once we get to 10 mana, our Holy Spirit should trigger our attack speed much faster, especially on our Squirrel Archers too, to be moving a lot more buffs, and giving them to us. Now it does mean we can't get to our big mana bomb as fast, but it still shouldn't be too bad. However, our opponent, he's looking quite dangerous. They're dealing quite a bit of damage to us, but can we keep ahead? Awesome. Not too bad overall. Now we got double Squirrel Archers, which is going to be awesome. That's another freaking Glowing Crown, which we're going to grab. And we're going to slot that up, and let's craft a double Holy Spirit. I do also want to grab ourselves another cards, potentially 2. And for now, I think I'm going to let our unstable recombobulator just recombobulate for now. So yeah, we're going to go ahead and move on. Now our opponent is running Poison Ivy. We should be able to cleanse. It's only going to be a small bit of cleansing. For sure, because that's a lot of poison stacked up on us, which means we're going to be taking a lot more damage. We also have a lot of spikes. We do get our invulnerability, allowing us to scale up our max life and deal a ton of damage. We do get a second go of invulnerability with that glowing crown. It's looking super close, but that's a lot of poison stacked up on us, and we barely survived. Holy moly. Way too close for comforts. Now, we actually only have a 30 DPS, which is really, really not great. Our opponent did have a 60 DPS, but our main sources of defense is our max life stacking, and it's not even super, super crazy. 224 max life with 110 heals, and then 267 blocks. So far, not looking too bad, but we can definitely make this a lot crazier, especially since we're about to get a second Holy Spear. And we got ourselves another Amulet of Feasting, which is amazing. Let's grab another squirrel. Let's roll for now. And we're going to be taking this fanny pack. Now, the thing is, I'm going to reserve this Impractically Large Greatsword because this is going to be our next weapon we do add in. Although we could have went for that freaking Tornbloom right here. Now, it's another glowing crown, which means we could get another go of invulnerability. But I'm not going to take it. I will continue to roll. Okay, another protected little person, which is really not great for us. I'm going to sell our Vampiric Buff for now, as we continue to roll. And we'll roll one more time. Another glowing crown, which I think would be pretty darn awesome to grab too. But now I'm going to place this Amulet of Darkness in here because we're going to be triggering these pretty fast. But I will actually be moving on right now. Save our 4 golds, and we'll see. At least with this Holy Spirit, we do cleanse a lot of those debuffs. However, our opponent will have tons and tons of healing with our Prismatic Sword. We're going to have tons and tons of scaling. They're going to be inflicting some debuffs, but yeah, our build right now is looking pretty darn solid with double King Spear. We're stacking up a lot of buffs. We're stacking up max life. We have tons of block, but our opponent is coming back. We do have tons of healing, but smashing. We still managed to pull ahead, so not too bad. So yeah, we're definitely going to need some storage. Do we take this right now? We just can't really afford to add it in. We would lose a lot of value on our Holy Spirit. We're going to sell our freaking stone to roll once. And we're going to sell a squirrel to grab this. An Amulet of Life. Not exactly what I'm looking for, but we'll take it anyway. But yeah, we are going to move on. So we're going to end up using up a lot of stamina, but our Holy Spears actually don't use up a crazy amount of stamina. So Impractically Large Greatsword shouldn't actually have too much of a problem. However, this build is going to be removing all our buffs, which is not so great, because we do need to stack up 5 in power for Impractically Large Greatsword to actually go super, super, super fast. So actually, this build is coming together quite nicely. We should be able to deal quite a bit of damage right now. And awesome. Our DPS is about 46 DPS, but our opponent did remove a lot of our buffs. As for heals, not so great. As for max life, still about 300 max life gains. And then as for block, yeah, about 362 block. So not too bad overall. We also do get 2 goes of invulnerability. Now we'll be taking this because I do want to slightly move this back a little bit so we can actually get a little bit of value on this Holy Spirit. We do want to continue to roll, and we could grab ourselves a Rogue Potion if we want to. I don't think we actually want it though. Now that's a Holy Armor on sale as well. But we're going to have to take a little protective purse. We can also grab ourselves a rat, which is going to be that Rat Chef. But I don't think we're going to need it. That's another glowing crown, which we could finally take in our last shop to get some invulnerability. But I think we're going to want that glowing crown. So yeah, we are going to move on. However, we are going to begin Aegisal's Leaf, Magic Torch, and Mana Thirst. They're going to have a good bit of Mana Buff Bomb. They're dealing quite a bit of damage to us. Unless we get our invulnerability, can we bring it back? We're starting to deal our damage back as well. And we should be able to get another go of our invulnerability, keeping us barely alive in time. And holy moly, was that crazy, to be quite honest. But yeah, we do end up with a 60 DPS, which is much, much better. And those 2 invulnerabilities pretty much saved their life. Which is crazy for sure. And that's also Tim, which we could start stealing some buffs, especially since we do have Squirrel Archers. They'll also steal some buffs. But I just want a glowing crown. I do want to roll, looking for a bit of storage because we're pretty much starved on a lot of storage. But yeah, if we had 2 more rounds, we could finally craft up a crew staff, but we're not going to want that. Now, we did change our whole setup around. So we can have our Cheese Goobert in this position, triggering off our Impractically Large Greatsword along with our Holy Spear. Now, initially, that's not going to be super great because this is a crazy long cooldown. But if we do get 5 in power, it does mean that this is actually going to be triggering faster than our Holy Spear. But then we can also use up those star slots on our Holy Spear to shred armor, to cleanse some debuffs, and overall beast smashing. We are going to be moving on with this. Now, do you want to roll one more time? We could grab ourselves another lucky clover, but we're not going to be taking that. One more time, and we might as well sell our Star of Courage for another 15 block at the very beginning. But let's go ahead and see, is this going to be good enough? Can we win out, or are we going to fall short? We are going to slow this one down, but it's a good thing we did move our setup around so we could get rid of a ton of that armor. That's 700 block, and they're also going to be inflicting a crazy amount of poison on us. But can our Holy Spears and our cards cleanse all that poison? As we get our invulnerability, we should be able to stack up our power, our max life, and our block. We should be able to deal a ton of damage overall. We should be able to remove a lot of our opponent's buffs as well with our squad archers too. And yeah, we're after breaking through 700 block. Now, can we keep up? We are running out of stamina, which is not so great, but that's a lot of power stacked up. And yeah, not looking too bad whatsoever. Dual Holy Spears with Impractically Large Greatsword with a freaking Cheese Goobert that does have a 20% chance to activate twice with a ton of block. So not too bad overall. So we actually ended up with a 92 DPS with Impractically Large Greatsword with Holy Spears with some Squirrel Archers too for a lot of damage as well. And Damn the Darkness also providing some damage too. As for heals, yeah, healing not so great. But then we had 320 max life gains over 16 seconds, being almost 20 effective HP per second. But then with block as well, 221 block. We did get 2 goals of invulnerability as well, so overall, just a solid build, and to be stealing a lot of buffs too. Now we did survive 3 lives left. Let's go and see just how much rank points we actually managed to get. Plus 11 ranks up quite a bit, but I'm going to leave you here for now. I just want to say thanks for watching. If you enjoyed the video, please leave a like, comment, or even consider subscribing. And I hope you can look up for the next one. I'll see you next time. But hey, we're back in history, and we're going to see if we can deal with some builds. Now we are going to begin a super fast crossblades. That's an absurdly fast crossblades. And you're doing some amount of damage to us. But can we bring it back? We do get our invulnerability. We have stacked up a little bit of max life. We do get another go of invulnerability. And yeah, not too bad. That invulnerability keeping us alive to smash down our opponents. But hey, we're back in history. We're going to begin Crit with Staff, Mana Thirst, freaking Blood Gooberts with each soul sleeve. We're still going to have a crazy absurd amounts of healing. But we're dealing quite a bit of damage. And yeah, not too bad whatsoever. But hey, we're going to see if we can deal with this Staff on Healing, Fancy Fencing Rapier, Blood Gooberts, massive heavy drinking build. Again, we do get our invulnerability, keeping us alive. We stacked up a lot of block. And our opponent does have invulnerability too, but yeah, not too bad whatsoever.